Hello, and welcome to today's subscriber contract, Bodyguard Mania at Towers Trainyard, set in Mumbai and supplied to us today by Nico in the Drip. So moving on to our briefing, Fresh Meat and Gert eliminate bodyguards all around the world to impress their boss Kevin. And moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them along with a free map. So for today's challenge we'll be starting as Vanya's servant. We're going to have a remote taser stored up in the homeless tent, and we'll be bringing with us a breaching charge, a proximity taser and a silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat we require a change of outfit, and I have attempted this on a live stream last week I believe it was, and we failed miserably at it, but I did vow that I was not going to get beaten by this contract and I would at some point manage to complete it with a silent assassin rating. So we're going to make our way straight into the security car here. We're going to render the guard present unconscious. We're going to take his gun and his outfit, and we're going to make our way over to where Vanya Shah is currently holding court, and 2 of our targets are present. We're going to drop our assault rifle on the floor, and 1 of our 2 targets will bring it back to us in this area. And what we're going to do is a fair bit of setup. Now this particular mission, as I said, gave me quite a lot of trouble, and it does take a very long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to pounce on our first target here. We're going to render him unconscious. We're going to hide him right down at the far end of the train car, out of sight, because we're not quite done in this area just yet. So while we're doing all of this, Vanya Shah should just be finishing up serving court or holding court, and everyone of significance should be leaving our next target almost entirely alone. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make our way over to this pretty blue light. We're going to drop one of the guns that we now have at our disposal on the floor, and either the guard or the maid will spot that gun. If the guard spots it, as he has done, he will go straight in and remove it. If not, the maid will ask him to remove it. And when he brings it over to us, we're going to do exactly what we did for our first target. We're just going to close that door, pounce on our target, render him unconscious, and we're going to drag him down to the far end of the train car with his colleague. And we're going to position them in such a way that their heads are together. So we need to have a different outfit before we eliminate these 2. We need Rangin's bodyguard's outfit, which means we need to make a trip to Rangin Tower before we can eliminate these 2 guys. But rather than get the outfit and come back, what we're going to do, if we can get their heads nicely together, that will do nicely. We can then place a breaching charge under their heads, and we will be able to dispense of these 2 at our leisure a little bit later on once we have the correct outfit. In the meantime, we are going to exit the train yard area, and we're going to make our way to Rangin Tower, where our remaining 3 targets are all located. And along the way we're going to stop off at the homeless tent and collect up our other taser. So we have 1 on us and we require 2. We also require some form of explosive, but there are a number of propane cylinders in Rangin Tower and we'll use one of those. So we're just going to grab our taser from the homeless tent, continue on around the edge of the map all the way to Rangin Tower, and we're going to make our way up to the 4th floor where all of our targets are located. Now unfortunately, once we hop over this wall, we are trespassing from here on out. So we're just going to make our way up the stepped garden. We're going to shoot out the camera above the entrance. We have taken care of the cameras, but we're not doing it so that we're not spotted. We're doing it so that the young lady makes her way up the stairs and out of our way. We're going to then make our way into the elevator shaft, and we're going to climb up to the 4th floor, and then from up here things will get a little bit more dicey. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for that guard there on patrol at the lift entrance to move away before making our way up to the 4th floor, which is the floor he is on, and we're going to wait in the lift shaft for him to return. We're going to render that guard unconscious, and we're going to take his outfit briefly. So here he comes now. We're just going to quickly render him unconscious, and we're going to leave him here for the moment. We're going to take his outfit and the key card that he drops, and we can now move around a little bit more freely. We're going to make our way through the key card entrance door and pounce on the guard currently having a cigarette in here. We need to do this while Darwood Rangin and his bodyguard are not around. So we're going to take our new unconscious friend here and deposit him in the crate provided. Then we're going to return out into the stairwell and retrieve the now naked unconscious guard. And we're going to place him in the crate as well, because we will be causing a bit of panic later on, and we don't want his body being discovered. So while we have the guard's outfit on, we're going to make our way down the stairs to the office area directly below us, just here. This is technically between floors. We're going to go down one more flight of stairs to where the potted plant is here. There is our target. So he's going to be coming up and down these stairs as part of his routine. So once he goes safely past us, we're going to drop the remote taser on the floor. We're then going to make our way back up to the 4th floor area, and we're going to redon the Queen's Guard outfit, and we can then deal with that particular target first of all. So I was thinking of just hanging around here in the possibility of getting rid of a few of the guards. We do need to remove a few people, but it would appear that our target will return to his position before we can get to any of the other guards. So we're going to put the Queen's Guard's outfit back on, and I can see on the instinct that our target just below us is heading back for the stairs as we speak. So as soon as he stops and realizes there's a weapon on the floor, we're going to trigger the taser, and he will go down, he will collect up the taser, and he will have a shockingly bad day. There he goes. So he will be eventually found and taken away, but he will not cause any alarm or undue panic, so we can continue on as normal. So we're going to redon the bodyguard outfit for the time being. Just makes things a little bit easier while we set up our next 2 eliminations. So we're just going to wait for Darwood Rangin and his bodyguard to make their way around to the area where we rendered the smoking guard unconscious. We're going to turn off and then on again the generator here, and that will attract the attention of the guard, who is currently sitting on the sofa in the big open space in the middle of the floor. When he comes round to investigate, we will be able to render him unconscious and deposit him in the crate provided, and we can then use his gun or his outfit a little bit later on. So we're just going to quickly render him unconscious, grab up his gun, deposit him in the crate provided before anyone spots us. I'm just going to hide his gun somewhere for the time being, as we don't actually need it. We're going to wait right here for our other guard who patrols in the area to return. So he currently is out on the planking at the edge of the building. Darwood Rangin and his bodyguard are just making their way downstairs, and when the patrolling guard returns, we're going to just rinse and repeat what we did before. So there he is, just coming into view now. We're going to turn off the generator. We're a little bit early, but it doesn't matter, and as soon as the guard recognizes that the generator is off, We're going to turn it back on and hide ourselves around the corner. We don't need to hide, I'm just doing it out of habit. He will come along and investigate why the generator is off, even though it's back on already, and we can then get behind him, render him unconscious. We can deposit him in the crate provided, and we can grab his gun as well, and we can pocket his gun so we don't have to worry about it. We can leave it there as well if we so wish. We don't have to pocket his gun as well. So we're going to quickly redon the Queen's Guard's outfit. We're going to select our proximity taser, and now we have access to the center of the room. Let's just grab up that gun. We're waiting for Dawood Rangin again. His routine is relatively short, and he is now going to be in our way. So we're going to wait for Dawood Rangin to come along. He's going to interrogate his prisoner out on the edge of the building, and then he's going to go back around to the little room where the laptop is, where the guard who was smoking was before we rendered him unconscious. When he does that, our next target, who you can see over yonder, will be in position, and we can then make our way into the center of the room where the sofa and the TV are located, and we can throw our proximity taser over in full view of our target. So about there will do nicely. The target will see that, he will come along, and once he gets in range, the taser will trigger itself, and when he picks it up, he too will have a shockingly bad day. So it's at this point we are going to be waiting around for some considerable time. So Dawood Rangin and his bodyguard are going to come along and find that body and the gun. Dawood Rangin will go back on with his routine. His bodyguard, on the other hand, will either remove the body or the gun. And that's where the time-consuming part comes in, because we need to wait for him to come back and re-catch up with Dawood Rangin. While we're waiting for all of that to happen, we're going to make our way down the edge of the building. We're going to grab the propane cylinder and place it by the crate or the pallet of bags, and we're going to put one hole in it with our silenced pistol. We're going to make our way up to the 5th floor where it will be safe, because once our target and Dawood Rangin come back, and our target starts and lights a cigarette. Now you can't see him on instinct. He is Dawood Rangin's personal bodyguard. For some reason he's not highlighted in red, but when he lights his cigarette, he will blow himself sky high. He will then cause himself quite a lot of panic, which is why we're up on the 5th floor, because everybody's going to go into panic mode for quite some time. Once everybody comes out of panic mode, we can then descend back to the 4th floor. We can put on any number of the bodyguard's outfits that we have collected up, and we can then select our breaching charge detonator, and we can trigger the detonator, eliminating the 2 Queen's Guards that we prepared earlier. So with all of our targets now dealt with, all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape. Now IO have suggested in the recent patch notes that they have fixed the elevator instant kill problem, but I'm not willing to take them on their word, as they've said they've fixed items in the past and I'm still experiencing them. So we're going to take the long way out of Rangin Tower and to the nearest available safe exit, which will be the default start location, as we don't have any coins. So there we go, one more subscriber contract taken care of, and this time not on stream, but this time also successfully. So we've taken out all of our targets according to plan, and we managed to get ourselves this time round a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.